Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjanaya. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjanaya. Yamunatira Vanachariyam. Yamunatira Vanachariyam. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamunatira Vanacharya. Yamunatira Vanacharya. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacarya Ashtatara Shata Shishimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Krishna. We're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 6, Conversation between Narada and Vyasadev. Text number 36. Sarvam tadidam akyatam yat prishtoham tvayanaga janma karma rahasyame bhavataschatmatoshanam sarvam tadidam akyatam yat prishtoham tvayanaga janma karma rahasyame bhavataschatmatoshanam sarvam tadidam akyatam yat prishtoham tvayanaga janma karma rahasyame bhavataschatmatoshanam sarvam tadidam akyatam yat prishtoham tvayanaga karma rahasyame. Thank you. Sarvam tadidam akyatam Vadishtoham tvayanaga karma karma rasme bhavataschatmatoshanam. Okay, sarvam, all. Just now coming. Tat, that. Idam, this. Akyatam, described. Yat, whatever. Prishta, asked by. Aham, me. Tvaya, by you. Anaga, without any sins. Janma, birth. Karma, activities. Rahasyam, mysteries. Me, mine. Bhavataha, your. Cha, and. Atma, self. Toshanam, satisfaction. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. O Vyasadev, you are freed from all sins. Thus, I have explained my birth and activities for self-realization, as you asked. All this will be conducive for your personal satisfaction also. Purport. The process of devotional activities from the beginning to the stage of transcendence is all duly explained to satisfy the inquiries of Vyasadev. He has explained how the seeds of devotional service were sown by transcendental association and how they gradually developed by hearing the sages. The result of such hearing is detachment from worldliness, so much so that even a small boy could receive the death news of his mother, who was his only caretaker, as the blessing of God. And at once he took the opportunity to search out the Lord. A sincere urge for having an interview with the Lord was also granted to him, although it is not possible for anyone to see the Lord with mundane eyes. He also explained how by execution of pure transcendental service, one can get rid of the fruitive action of accumulated work and how he transformed his material body into a spiritual one. The spiritual body is alone able to enter into the spiritual realm of the Lord, and no one but a pure devotee is eligible to enter into the kingdom of God. All the mysteries of transcendental realization are duly explained by Narada Muni himself, and therefore, by hearing such an authority, one can have some idea of the results of devotional life, which are hardly delineated even in the original texts of the Vedas. In the Vedas and Upanishads, there are only indirect hints to all this. Nothing is directly explained there, and therefore Srimad Bhagavatam is the mature fruit of all the Vedic trees of literature. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shrimate Praladananda Swamiti Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine. Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shnevadi Vashyade Shatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Narada Muni is explaining the whole cycle from Shraddha to Prema from his own experience. And first you might think, or at least I was thinking, because we usually don't talk about our experience, Prabhu, I feel like that, and I saw Krishna and this. We usually talk more from Shastra. We try to show the experiences of the bona fide experiences, because sometimes what I feel is not so important. We speak from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Nectar of Devotion, Madhurya Kadambini. We present this cycle from Shraddha to Prema. But sometimes it's also inspiring to have examples, living examples. Actually, Srimad Bhagavatam is full of examples. It's just examples of advanced devotees and how they advanced actually in spiritual life. I remember in the beginning of my Krishna consciousness, I was like 1 year into Krishna consciousness. I was chanting, following the principles and everything, living in a sort of a temple. And I met one aspiring devotee, and he was thinking that, I could never be like you, this meaning at least, chanting 16 rounds and following the regulative principles. And then I told him about my experience before Krishna consciousness, what I was doing, Practically, I was probably not following any of the regulative principles, or not the most pious life. Nothing spectacular, like that's normal in the current Kali Yuga. So when he heard this experience, this he said, he had this idea that, wow, if you could do it from that life, then I can do it also. So, from that perspective, sometimes our experience before Krishna consciousness might be valuable, that people see that, for example, you read in the Shastras about Mrigari the hunter. And then Mrigari the hunter, he's a hunter, he's half killing animals, he meets Narada Muni and he gets transformed. And then you're like, yeah, but inside you might be a bit like, yeah, right. Really. He was such a rascal, and then he met Narada Muni, and just by meeting Narada Muni, his consciousness changed completely. So you're like, yeah, maybe, maybe you're not completely yeah, right. And then you meet a devotee, and he's telling you, before Krishna consciousness, I was doing this and that, maybe not on the level of Mrigari the hunter. And then here I am now. I'm living in a temple. I'm chanting 16 rounds. I'm following the regulative principles, and I dedicated my whole life to preach Krishna consciousness. So this is Mrigari. So it works. Then people will be like, "Wow, it works. Okay." So this, from this perspective, also our experiences can be inspiring for people, that they can see real people. They read Shastra and it's okay, but they need to see real examples. Of course, we should be an example more of after we join Krishna consciousness than before. We shouldn't be so much the bad example before, and now, anyway, we're trying, but Prabhu, life is tough. As the Christians say, the flesh is weak. Anyway, that's a joke. So people actually want to see some sadhu, some persons. They read so much. They read in the Shastra, nice examples, nice ideals. But they also want to see some serious practitioners who actually are living according to what they see in the Shastra. That's very important. And sometimes seeing these devotees can be really inspiring. I was visiting some devotees lately. I was in Croatia, I was in Slovenia. And just someone who is alone there, maybe preaching, maybe doing some activities and trying to keep his Krishna consciousness, just meeting a devotee, who's somehow serious. I don't know how serious I am, but anyway, somehow serious. This is very inspiring for them, I remember we were in Karlovac, and there's this devotee. He was. Just went with Lomanchita Prabhu. We were distributing some books, and then we just went for lunch. And he was so grateful, He was so happy. Wow, this is so nice that you came. We came to eat, from some perspective. But anyway, we had some. We could have eaten somewhere else. But just this little association he had, this was very inspiring for them. And many other cases, devotees are really grateful to have the association of somehow serious devotees. And devotees from Namahatas, devotees from the congregation, they come to the temple, or the temple devotees go there, and they're like, wow, these serious devotees. So we should be doing that. We should be visiting these devotees and should be trying to give the association. It's really important. You cannot. Sometimes we underestimate the impact that you can achieve just by somehow giving a bit of association, just being there for some program. Can be a boost in spiritual life. We had these devotees for this Be a Monk challenge. So they came, and one devotee, they started chanting. Of course, if you don't associate with them regularly, they go down. So they started chanting. One is still chanting. One is resuming chanting. So it's such an effect. So that's why we have this Be a Monk challenge, because we want devotees, aspiring devotees mostly, to come and see how the monks live. This is the standard. And of course, we should improve our own standards. We should. They want to see serious devotees, so we should be the serious devotees. They should look, wow, we were talking about this vision about Ljubljana temple has to be this place where people in this area come and they see, wow, this is serious devotees. That's how I want to be. Maybe we're, of course, that's a side note. But we might probably not be the Bhaktivedantas that Narada Muni was associating with. Almost, but not there yet. But still, there's some impact. There's some. So the role of the temple is to produce high-quality devotees. Manchita Prabhu was saying, telling me that this should be like the professionals, you know. You have some part-time, and you have to have the professionals. That was his vision. And in some way, it's true, you know, because other devotees, of course, there are some very serious devotees who don't live in a temple, but other devotees have all sorts of problems, responsibilities, that, and sometimes it's very difficult to keep your Krishna consciousness. And so at least the devotees living in the temple, there should be these professionals who are like, okay, this is where it's at. So we should, and other devotees should see these examples, and they should think, yeah, one day I want to be like Manchita Prabhu. I want to be so fixed, you know. Just boom, 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 boom. Krishna. What's the time? 12 o'clock. Time to go for Sankirtan. They had some programs, they had long Ishta Goshti in Zagreb or something. They had lots of things, and then it was 12 o'clock, and then at 12 o'clock, Manchita Prabhu just got his book bag and went out on the street. Because it's 12 o'clock, it's time for Sankirtan. So they were a bit like, really? Yeah, of course. So we should actually be these examples, that people will look and say, wow, I want to be as serious as this devotee. Wow. And the point is that this association is the most important thing in spiritual life. It's the most important thing. They compare devotional service with the plant, Bhakti Lata, the Bhakti plant. And the water that you have to put on the plant, sometimes if you have plants, it's good to put some water sometimes. No, huh? Once I had a cactus, you know, they knew me, so they said, okay, we'll give him they both gave me a cactus on my birthday, and after 6 months, the cactus dried up. so I was on that level. I thought, yeah, you know. They didn't tell me I have to put some water, so I didn't. So anyway, this water that you put on the devotional plant is devotee association. That's the most important. At every stage, it's not just Shraddha. Okay, I don't have faith, so and now I'm at Nishta, so I don't need water anymore. No, you still need the water. And so devotee association is the most important thing in the spiritual life. Of course, devotee association doesn't mean taking prasadam together. Devotee association means discussing about Krishna, exchanging, some Krishna conscious exchange. And this is very important. Yesterday I was in Maribor, and they introduced this morning program. They have their chanting, what we're chanting, same as here. And then they read from Bhagavatam, and they discuss a bit. Like everyone says something, and more or less, it's not like a Bhagavatam class. And it was like very nice. It was, for me, it was really inspiring to see, oh, these devotees, they got together to talk about Krishna. So they were, and this devotee was saying this, and you can see, wow, these devotees, they have some realization. It's not just... So this is very important, that the devotees come together and discuss about Krishna in some way, discuss about Shastra, discuss about... Because otherwise the tendency is to be very much like chit-chat. Just, it's called prajalpa. Just talk about nothing. How are you, Prabhu? Good, Prabhu. How are you, Prabhu? Good, Prabhu. Okay, what's for prasadam? This, Prabhu. Tendency, so you have to make a conscious effort to put some Krishna also. Prasadam is Krishna, yes. All right. Madhava Mishra Prabhu was telling me, we discussed last at some point, and he said that he came to the Krishna consciousness movement and he wanted to discuss about Krishna, and he was so disappointed. Devotees weren't discussing about Krishna. Their car broke up, this thing happened, this, that, this. And Krishna, where is Krishna? This is the Hare Krišna movement, guys. So anyway, we should make a conscious effort to discuss more about Krishna, and because devotee association, Srila Prabhupada says in the purport that is hearing about from sadhus, hearing about Krishna. That's devotee association. The rest is not. I mean, it's still prasadam is Krishna, and but if you're not conscious that it's Krishna, it's when you're just eating like me, good Prabhu, good. Still some effect is there, but not so much. So anyway, and the result of this hearing, Narada Muni was hearing from these Bhaktivedantas, and then the result was that he was able to pass through very difficult situations. You can imagine he's 5 years old. He's just a small child. His mother, who is the only protector, dies. And it says there, yeah, anyway, I'll back to that. So, who will protect you? What's going to happen with you? If you think this is an easy situation, probably it's not. No, you're just alone. And Narada Muni has this realization: who will protect you after your mother is gone? And the answer is the same person who was protecting you when the mother was here. Krishna. Krishna is the only protector. And so he saw this situation as the mercy of Krishna. Sometimes, very few times we see difficult situation as mercy. We see like, why is this happening to me? I come to the Hare Krishna movement, I'm chanting, I'm pious, and good things should happen to good people, huh? Huh? No? No, of course. But sometimes bad things happen to good people like us, you know. So we can think, well, maybe we're not so good, of course, or maybe we're not so good in the past. Sometimes we meet these people on the street and they say, they are telling you that they have these problems in their life, and say, maybe karma. No, because I'm a completely good person. And then I don't want to to go like a full blast. And I say, maybe in your past life you did something. And then they accept, yes, maybe in my past life. Of course, they are eating meat and so on, doing all this nonsense, but they couldn't have some bad karma. So anyway, Narada Muni is saying, yeah, this thing happened to me, and this is Krishna's mercy. So, And many things happened in Narada Muni's life. You can say this one thing, but then probably many things happened in his life. For example, this is not explicitly in Bhagavatam, but it says that in this chapter it says that I then passed alone through many forests of rushes, bamboo, reeds, sharp grass, weeds, and caves, which were very difficult to go alone. I visited deep, dark, and dangerously fearful forests, which were the play yards of snakes, owls, and jackals. So, young boy, 5 years old, in the forest, full of snakes. We can, who wants to try? I wouldn't. So, it's not very pleasant from material perspective. It's not the best situation. You cannot say, wow, so Narada Muni got Krishna's mercy, and he was at home chanting Hare Krishna, taking prasadam. Life is good. No, he was in some very interesting material situation. And for me, I really like this part of Bhagavatam, because this is something I can relate, most of the people come to the Hare Krishna movement and they say, well, there was problems in my life before, and now it's all peaceful, it's all good. Just live in the temple, books on yoga, meditation, how to be free from stress. No stress, Prabhu. Everything is peaceful in the temple. It's a temple, Hare Krishna. So that's the idea people have about spiritual life. That nothing no problems. Spiritual life, material life is lots of problems that we understood, and spiritual life means no problem. Vaikuntha, no anxiety. Nothing, no problem. But it's not exactly like that. Then they join the temple and they see that things happen in the temple. Sometimes there's stress. Sometimes there's problems. Sometimes very interesting things happen in the temple. You might, Actually, I can say that in my life before Krishna consciousness, I didn't experience so many strange things since I'm living in the temple. Things happen, Especially if you go for Sankirtan. If you go for Sankirtan. This wasn't my idea of Krishna consciousness. Somehow they tricked me into doing this Sankirtan, because they convinced me that Prabhupada wants this. So, many things happen. You go to a new place. Every time you go to a new place, there's usually some policeman who wants to see what you're doing. They never seen a strange person in a dhoti, in bed sheets. And they want to see, hey, what's going on? What are you doing? And sometimes they are polite. And sometimes they are not so polite. And sometimes they speak some English, sometimes they don't. So it's very interesting exchanges. It's good to see how you react in these situations. Of course, don't put yourself unnecessarily. But, sometimes, and sometimes you go to some cities, there's only nice people, everyone is nice. And sometimes you go to some places like Gornja Radgona, and everyone is like, and you try to, hello, and they are like, get lost before you even start say hi, And of course, the funny thing is that even in these places where all these people somehow not open, not very nice from some perspective, you meet some nice people. You finally get to to some places and you meet some people and you're like, wow, this is actually the nice people from from this city. And you meet them, they are there all the time, you know. So it's very interesting how Krishna does this arrangement. And also you have many problems with cars. There's always some lila with the cars. I just remember Madhava Mishra was there, or maybe we were in Bovec. No, you weren't there. Okay, so we were in Bovec, and we were coming back to Ljubljana, and we said it's shorter if you go through Italy, you know. Actually, there's a road through Italy. Otherwise, it's not through Italy. It's you just cross the border, and there's a road in Italy. So we said, okay, you were at Combi, lots of some devotees in the car, and this red lamp comes, you know. So we said, wow, red lamp, this cooling system from the car. I mean, if the engine cooling system is not working, your engine will explode in 50 kilometers. You'll be without an engine in 50 kilometers. So we stopped, you know, like we just stopped somewhere. It was like engine cooling, the water. So we just somewhere, and it was like in a small village in Italy, you know. I don't know. I don't remember the name. So we went there and said, oh no, cooling water. Okay, Ramatirtha went to get some water somewhere and put some. And he found out there was a mechanic, you know, 50 meters from where we stopped. 50 meters from. So like, what? Really? And actually, this pipe, it was not only the water missing, but the pipe was broken, you know. And then we go to this mechanic, he comes and he says, she looks there, you know, like, and he says, oh, this pipe is broken, this, you know, like, okay, I actually have it on the stock, I can fix it just now. You know, when you go to a car mechanic, you know, he says, just leave the car here. We're in Italy, no problem. You come back in 5 months. We'll fix you for you. It's always like that. So he said, no, I have this and I can fix it. So he went under the car, he cut everything, he put this pipe, he put some water inside, he started the engine. Ta-da! Life is good. Let's go. So, and of course, 1 kilometer later, this water, we put water, but when the engine starts, you need more water. So the lamp got on again. So we stopped the car. We jumped over the fence into a lake, and we got some water from the lake, and we put more water. Anyway, it was fun. But the point is, if you put yourself on the line for Krishna, you can see this kind of miracles. This is a miracle. Come on, you stop in some place and there's this mechanic who is just waiting there. Hey, can I help you? Like what? So this kind of miracles do happen. No? In the early days, Shama Sundar Prabhu wrote these books. It's called Chasing Rhinos with the Swami. That always, whenever Prabhupada was around and devotees went out for preaching and they had this preaching mood, always some things happened. You know, Shama Sundar Prabhu says that he was, it was normal. They were counting on it. There will be something happening. And one day they had to pay the rent for some temple, whatever they call temple, and they were like 2 or 3 months behind with the rent, and the landlord came and said, you know, I'm tolerant but not very tolerant, so you pay by this time or you're gone. I'm sorry. So on that day, they were on the street, and then there was $100 bills falling from the sky. It's true story. I'm not making it up. So nobody knows from where this money came, but there was $100 bills falling from the sky, and they were just picking up, $100 bill. They got this, and then they paid the rent, and problem solved. So the point is, this mood was there in the early days, and we should get this mood back, because as soon as you put yourself on the line for preaching, then Krishna will protect, and you will see how Krishna works behind you. There's so many nice arrangements that you can say, well, this is not random. It cannot be random, There's so many nice arrangements Krishna makes, and he puts you in some strange situation. He does put you in some strange situation, and then he gets you out there. Yeah, just checking how you react. No problem. And we should be willing to put ourselves in these difficulties. There was this mood. Srila Prabhupada would send someone to Africa. You go and preach to Africa. Like, what? I don't know anyone in Africa. No, I don't know anything about Africa. Yeah, just go there, no problem. You go and preach. And they did. And the most amazing thing is that they were even successful, You go alone somewhere, they send you to preach somewhere in Africa, and you go and preach, and a whole movement in Africa starts from that devotee who is... So yeah, that was the mood, that was the mood, and we should, if we are serious in Krishna consciousness, we should have this mood. Maybe not go to Africa, maybe it's not, but we should have this mood that we are willing to go through whatever it takes to achieve Krishna consciousness, and we should have the mood to put ourselves on the line. Yeah, okay, I want to take some risks for Krishna, and then Krishna will respond. The point is, many times we want to become Uttama adhikari, utmost devotee, but first we should become Madhyama adhikari. And Madhyama adhikari means preacher. You cannot, maybe you can, but probably most of the cases you cannot become a Madhyama adhikari without preaching. We were talking with Prahlada Maharaj, and we were talking how you become a Madhyama. And he said, you have to act like a Madhyama. It's like this, they call it fake it till you make it. The Americans, they call it fake it till you make it. So you have to preach. You have to go out and preach. In the early days, everyone, you come to the Hare Krishna movement, welcome. Here is your book bag. Here's your books. Get lost. Like Manidhar Prabhu explains. They left him, gave him some magazine, left him in a parking lot. Good luck. See you there, see you here in 4 hours, 5 hours, or whatever. Good luck. So because this mood was there, and because there were so many strong devotees in the Krishna consciousness movement. So many strong devotees. Not everyone survived, of course. Maybe it was extreme. But this mood we should put it more up there. No, we should encourage young devotees. Just put yourself on the line. Go on the front line somehow, one way. Sankirtan is the easiest. You just take some books and you go somewhere and you try to do something for Krishna. And that was the message. And if you do that, you preach. Of course, preaching has many aspects. if you go out and preach, you can see that devotees who preach, they advance very fast in Krishna consciousness. So that's the fast track, and if we do that, then we can. That's the example we get from Narada Muni. Okay, we're probably not gonna make it into the Panchatattva if we follow his example, but I'm just joking. All right, I stop here. If there's some questions, comments, concerns, Bhaktayan. Bhakta Mike is just now coming.
Hare Krishna, thank you for lecture. You were talking about standards in temple and that we should be professionals here, and if you can give some practical tips for me to become more professional, maybe.
I mean, the standard is that you're 24 hours in Krishna consciousness. For example, you can make some notes. I don't know what's the term in Sanskrit, but a devotee is not wasting time. That's the term. Okay. So you can check your daily, just at the end of the day or somewhere, just put on a paper what are you doing the whole day. This being accountable, at least to yourself. And you can show this to someone, to Lashoka Prabhu or some senior devotees. I say, look, I'm doing this. That's what I'm doing. How can I improve on that? And just being accountable, we saw with this sadhana sankalpa. You have to write there what you're doing. Then when you're doing something, it happens to me also. Then you're doing something, I have to write here 1 hour of spacing out. Maybe I shouldn't space out. So already just by monitoring what you're doing, then you'll improve, because you'll be more aware, okay, what am I doing now? Is this something that's helpful in my spiritual life? Or is it something that is just spacing out, So maybe that's a starting point. That you just monitor everything that you do throughout the day, maybe for 1 week or something, and you get together with someone and you say, hey, how can I improve? Of course, you shouldn't go in the other direction that you try to imitate Lomanchita Prabhu from day one. You're not gonna make it. You're gonna just disappear after 1 month. It's not possible. But the point, so there's a certain level of sense gratification in some way that is needed for everyone, according to. But you should see where you are, become a bit more aware, and then you can see how you can improve. And also, you have to monitor very, very nicely. Like sometimes you go too much in one direction, and you have to be very aware. Okay, it's too much in this direction. Maybe, you have to find some way that you can function, because you need to be in devotional service for whole life. It's not for So we have to gradually. So I don't know. Maybe that's one thing. Just monitor what you're doing and see how you can improve. Unless you start from where you are. Sometimes devotees want to start from. They come to say, how can I improve? I'm already a Madhyama adhikari, almost Uttama adhikari, but how can I improve? Let's see where we really are. Okay, I'm here. Okay, how can I improve? Oh yeah, if I waste 15 minutes less during the day, that's a success. I'm improving. So, anyway. And make some commitments. I will do this for I mean, it shouldn't be very hard, especially when you're testing. Like how much you read, how much you can go for Sankirtan or something. This can make some commitments. Okay, I will read 1 hour per day or something. And then this helps you, and especially if you have to monitor them, this helps you to be like, oh, I didn't do it, you know. Anyway, I don't know if that helps.
Thank you.
Thank you. Something else? Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki